Welcome back for another Kerbal Space Program 2 episode here on Fragmented Poe, where I suffer through the bugs so that you don't have to. And do I have some bugs in store for you today? This episode was quite painful to make, and it's really funny because I thought staying closer to home would make this all less stressful, but you'll see, let's get into it. My original concept, as you can see, was an aircraft kind of mission, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to build a seaplane and to go explore the ocean and landabouts at sea? And sure, I could have opened Google and read articles and seen what's implemented in this game and what isn't, but spoilers. So trial and error, right? I fly a little bit, I go back to the VAB, I modify some stuff, I try to fly a little bit. Well, every aircraft I designed would pull to the right, and I couldn't figure out why. And then in this test flight, I noticed I was hanging actually to the left constantly, and I wasn't able to steer right. And this had been after some reconfiguration of parts, and what is going on here? And I noticed that the rudder was not flexing the opposite way. So I'm not sure if that was a building error on my part. Maybe I put a wing there and it should have been a stabilizer or something like that. But the more annoying bug that I'm sure you've noticed by now is that the HUD is constantly flickering. The HUD is resizable now, which is super appreciated. And yes, I did try that, and no, it doesn't seem to resolve the bug, so I'm just going to ignore it best I can, and just warning that a lot of the rest of this footage has the flickering HUD. Well, finally, I've gotten an airplane into the air. It's decently controllable. Again, having trouble with the rudder, whatever's going on there. But I decided it was time to try to land this thing in the water and see how well it floats and that sort of stuff. Mostly floating. Floating's very important for a seaplane. And it does not float. It sinks like a rock, and I don't think any parts right now have floating physics. So I guess we're going to check out the seafloor. Onward to the seafloor. I was just desperately trying to regain control of the aircraft. I could only really spin it about. You can fire up the jet engine underwater, but it doesn't really seem to do anything. I was scared to try to EVA, but I just thought if we're down here, we might as well keep sinking. It's kind of ominous down here. Back to the drawing board, I thought I'd try more of just a traditional plane. Like maybe the new objective will just be, I'm gonna land on the island runway. That sounds simple, that's a good idea for a video, right? We're gonna land on the island runway. How hard could that be? KSP2 can do that. So far so good with the new aircraft. Seems to be staying straight on the runway. I did swap out the tail fin. And no, it's not going so great. Alright, we're having some center of lift troubles. That's okay, everything will be fine. Stay calm, passengers. We have control of the aircraft. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have control. I suppose usually in flight test prototypes they don't pack them full of passengers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to land this thing. Optimistic landing gear time. And there was one survivor. More or less the same plane, some tweaks to the center of mass, some tweaks to the landing gear. I think we're good to go. I think this is the one. We're going to do a little landing test before I try to fly it across the ocean. And ultimate goal, island runway. We got this. Oh crap! Well, I think we got this. No, we're good. Yeah, nothing broke. But since that landing was kind of sketch, I thought, let's keep perfecting this aircraft until I can dependably take off and land with it, and then we'll do the island runway. And that's a nice, fun little goal point for this play session. And I'm not sure what was going on with my wheels, but I definitely kept spinning a direction, and my brakes didn't seem to be doing great. And then I thought, what if we double up our wheels, double up our brakes, double up the support? And I really love this overlay mode, or whatever they call it, the side view mode. It's very handy for aligning stuff. That is a welcome addition. Unfortunately, the double wheels didn't seem to really help, and so I went back to single wheels, and I just tried, and tried, and tried. And I'm starting to wonder, am I just really this bad at flying airplanes? Oh, and check this out. That weird landing gear all spinning circles over there, I can still control it and make it retract. So, I guess I'm that landing gear. Go me. So at this point I decided it was time for a radical rethinking of the aircraft, and I decided more engines, maybe I'd have more control, have kind of a wider vehicle, maybe it'll make my landings better. Having a good feeling about this bird. Takeoff is beautiful, nice and buttery. I think we've got it. I think this is our thing. I decided to put the engines on the fuselage and the wheels under that for some extra security, and I think I'm good to go here. I also threw a ladder on for good measure. Alright, let's load it up. Let's do the island runway. Notes for the future: make sure I'm using a stabilizer for a rudder, or else you can't maneuver correctly. And make sure you right click on your rear wheels and tell them they're not steerable. That seems to make a big difference. Well, this aircraft has come a long way. It was a long road to get there, and I definitely put in more work than was needed, but that's the fun thing about Kerbal, is the trial and error and watching stuff fail and just messing with all the pieces, and it's just fun Legos, and definitely they nailed that part in KSP2. I gotta give them props there. Man, the blinking HUD though is driving me absolutely nuts. One other bug I was having that I forgot to mention is when I first installed the patch 3, I had no engine sounds at all. And I did a quick Google on it, and the solution, weirdly enough, was to reboot my computer. And sure enough, yay, engine sounds. It's much more engaging with engine sounds. As you've seen, I'm not very good at landing things in this game yet. And this is a little tiny runway, so I'm getting ready with my reverse thrust. And I'm cranking up the reverse thrust. And that is doing a really good job of slowing me down. I am less than 100 meters a second, 80. Ooh, that was kind of a fast touchdown. And brakes time. And maybe brakes too early time. Oof. Oh, that's not great. Aw, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived safely on the island runway. Thank you for flying with us, and please get the heck out of my airplane. Thank you. Aw, man, I did it again. I forgot to say it at the beginning. But hey, if you've enjoyed this and you enjoy watching these, I would really appreciate a like. Please subscribe if you want to see more. But I just love playing Kerbal. I played the original game for like 10 years, so it is really nice to have this fresh game on a fresh engine with all these fancy effects and stuff. I hope they can get some of the fundamentals nailed down, and I feel really bad actually for the developers, because obviously this game wasn't ready to go yet. But I have the fun with it I can, and there's some wacky stuff to behold in traditional Kerbal nature, and that's what I love about it. So tune back in. I'm going to do a video about once a month. So far so good, staying on that schedule. Thanks for watching.